Hey, how's it going, guys? It's me, your Death01 here, back with another video. This time I am bringing you guys a Halo Combat Evolved All Skulls and Terminals guide. This is on the Master Chief Collection, but it also works on Remastered, just in general, any of the ones. Seeing as I just did the playthrough not too long ago, I figured I'd bring out this guide for people that don't know, or people that may need that information. So, there is a total of, like I said, 14 skulls and 10 terminals. Now, every mission has one terminal, but there is only one mission that does not have a skull on it, and that is keys. Now, in the description, I'm going to leave a timestamp of all of the skulls that you can get and terminals, the names of them, and their the timestamp in the description. So make sure you check that if you need to know what they are. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Right onto the Pillar of Autumn. Let's go. Okay, so now the very beginning at the Pillar of Autumn here, you're going to spawn right here in this crowd tube. You're going to do some little sequencing and listen to his actions and whatever, and then you're going to have to hop out of the crowd tube, so hit the button to hop out. Now, in this spawn area right here, once you get out, he's going to tell you can walk around, whatever. Just go behind this crowd tube where you just got out, if you can see this room right here. Just turn around, go back into this corner, and behind these sort of container things on the left side, you can already see the skull right there. Go ahead, pick that up. That is the Iron Skull. Now, moving on. So later on the Pillar of Autumn now, we are in this sort of area right before we go to the command control center here where Captain Keyes is. You can see there's this sort of hallway right here. There's these flashing light. Just walk through these doors into the command room. You can already see on the left side there was that flashing red light on that computer screen. If you walk over to it after this guy runs past you there, see on the left side there, it says incoming message. Just go ahead, press that, and that is going to be your terminal. Now moving on. Okay, so now on the level Halo, this is the very beginning of the mission. We are going to go get the skull. Now, from the spawn here, you just crashed this escape shuttle pod, and so you're going to walk over your dead teammates there. But if you look to your right from the spawn, you'll see this waterfall. I'm going to fast forward here so you can just kind of follow along easier, but you're just going to want to run all the way over to this waterfall, and you'll see this big rock to the right side of the waterfall right here. Just go ahead, walk around the side of this rock right here. You'll already see the skull in the water right there. Just go ahead, walk over to it and pick that up. That is going to be your next skull, the Mythic Skull. Now moving on. Okay, so now just a little bit further in the mission Halo, this is just in the big open area. You just had to defend your position against all those Covenant guys and wait for the UNSC reinforcements. You're going to come to this big open area. You got to go down that sort of valley there, and that's going to take you towards the next area, which is through a tunnel system. So instead of going down there, as you can see, I kind of failed, but you got to jump on this rock right here and walk along the right side of this cliff right here. This is going to take you along this path. You're going to walk all the way along here. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you can see. You're going to come ahead, and once you reach towards the end of this path, at the top of where the tunnel is, you're going to see there is the skull just in the distance right here. So go ahead, walk over and grab that. That is going to be the Boom Skull. Now, moving on. Okay, so now just a little bit further in the mission Halo, you're going to go through that tunnel, which is right by the Boom Skull that you would have just picked up. Now, when you start walking through the tunnel here, you're going to come to this long area. You're going to turn to your left, and there's going to be this sort of ramp, right? Normally, you have the Warthog, and you got to use the Warthog to jump over this ramp. Now, instead of jumping over this ramp, what you want to do is you want to drop down to the right side here. You can see that little sort of cutout right there in the bottom right of the screen. You see the flash already of the light beam for the terminal there. So just go ahead, drop down right there, go ahead, walk right over to it, and you can use the terminal. Now moving on to the next mission. Okay, so now on the mission Truth and Reconciliation, you're going to come to a spot in the mission in this hangar bay inside of the ship in the far right corner of this big hangar bay room. There's going to be some enemies and hunters that spawn through this double door right there that you saw me walk through, right here in this far corner. In this room, you have to walk through the door when they spawn through it and grab the skull. That is going to be the Foreign Skull. Now, moving on. Okay, so now a little further on the mission, Truth and Reconciliation, you're going to come to a room here full of elites. There's sword guys and whatever, just a bunch of elites. Now, as you can already see at the top of this platform in the center of the room, there's that flashing terminal. What you want to do is just clear the room so you don't have to worry about the enemies. Now, once you've cleared the room, just turn up this ramp right here, walk up to the top, go over, grab the terminal. Now, moving on to the next mission. Okay, so now on the Silence Cartographer in the this part of the mission, you're going to come to this sort of area where there's this dish and there's these two hunters here that are guarding this area that you got to go through. There's overshields and stuff. You can already see to the left side of this sort of array part here by the hunters is the terminal. So just go ahead, run past them, maybe dodge them a little bit. I kind of failed there. I got hit. Walk over and grab the terminal. Now moving on to the skulls. Alright, so now a little later in the mission, you're going to come to this area in this sort of construct here, this foreigner construct. You're going to walk up to this sort of terminal here. You're going to press the button. You're going to get a long cutscene. Now, after you got the cutscene to disable the security shutdown in this area, after you've activated that, you want to turn to your right. Head outside of this little opening right here. It's going to bring you into this big room. And on top of that sort of bridge that you walk through to get into this room where that pad was, you got to grenade jump on top of this sort of bridge right here. So throw a grenade on the ground, jump up. You got a grenade jump to get on top of this. I know it's really tricky. It looks really hard, but you can do it. Trust me. Once you've grenade jumped onto the top of here, just walk over along this sort of bridge right here, and right there is the skull, the Bandanna Skull. Now moving on to the next skull, it's not very much further from here. So this skull is actually just right outside of where you just walked out of the construct, where you just turned off the security terminal to take off the security sensor and lock door back in that other area where that elite had locked you in. You can get this terminal, or I mean this skull, sorry, pardon me, from either getting the second collectible in this mission, the first skull after the terminal in this array dish. You can just slide down this mountain right here to bring you back right to the beginning area, or you can get this from the very start of the mission, but I just chose to show you where it is after you've gone through pretty much half of the mission at this point. So what you want to do is you want to just walk around this big rock. You got to go all the way around it. There's a bunch of Covenant around here that you got to fight, and there will be a little path you got to walk up along this sort of rock hill right here. Now, once you've walked up along the path of the rock hill right here, you're going to see once you reach the top that there is going to be the skull just perched on top of this hill on the very far side, the side towards where the spawn is, on the opposite side of the pelican. You can see right between these three bushes right here is that skull. So just go ahead, walk over, you can pick that up, and that is going to be your Famine Skull. Now, moving on to the next mission. Okay, so now on the mission Assault on the Control Room, you're going to come in the sort of starting first like 5 minutes of the mission. You're going to come to this room, and you're going to see in the center of this room there's this vent and this big thing right in the middle. There's these glass containers surrounding you, and you're going to see there's these sort of 5 pillars that are leading up to this big thing in the middle. This one kind of looks like the AT Walker from Star Wars. What you have to do is you have to grenade jump onto the top of that pillar so you can jump into that centerpiece in the room. You can't jump and slide up these pillars to get up there, no, you have to grenade jump. So walk over to the ledge right here on the side, as you see I did. Look to the ground, throw a grenade. You gotta propel yourself onto the top of this pillar just like that, and then you can jump right inside, and as you can see the skull is right there, so go ahead, pick that up, and that is going to be your Fog Skull. Okay, so for the next skull on Assault on the Control Room on Halo Combat Evolved here, you're going to come to this big area right here, this sort of big underground place. There's these 2 bridges. There's one on the left side that's complete, one on the right side that's only half done. There's a turret there. This will just be after you've gotten into the Scorpion and done a little bit of fighting. You'll go through a tunnel, and it'll lead you to a big area, and then you'll come to another tunnel. You'll go through the tunnel. You have to get out and open a door back there, and then you'll come into this big open space right here. This is where the next skull is. So from this front area here where the entrance is, you're going to come towards the right side of this bridge where there's this shade turret. You're going to look down, and right on the pipe there, as you can already see, is the skull. So all you got to do is just drop down there. Boom, like that, walk over, and you can pick up the next skull, which is the Malfunction Skull. Now on to the terminal. Okay, so now on Assault on the Control Room, you're going to come to a part here where you walk outside. There's a Banshee in front of you right here on the cliff, and then there's this big building right to your left here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to walk over to this Banshee here, of course, because you got to get down, you got to drive it anyways. So you get in this Banshee, and okay, controls pop up, but do you see this sort of beam that it intersects right into the snow here, right down here? Well, the terminal that you want is actually just under this big beam. So just take your Banshee, fly all the way down here, whatever, crash it if you want, it'll fit down here, and you can see it already was blinking right there, just in this sort of alcove down here, right there in the ground in the snow. As you can see, old school, it's not there, but classic it is. Actually, I wonder if you can still use it old school. No, you can't. That'd be cool though. So yeah, right here at the bottom under this big supporting beam, right there is the terminal. So go ahead, use that, and collect your achievement. Now moving on to the next mission. Okay, so now at the very beginning of 343 Guilty Spark here, we are going to now go grab the skull. So as you can see, right from the spawn point here, the pelican is still flying above me. You're going to want to turn, instead of going straight that way over there, you're going to want to turn towards your left and head in this sort of dark area over here inside of these trees, this marsh area, all this water and everything. So just start heading towards behind this big hill. You'll see there is all of these trees. It actually goes on for quite a long time here. Just keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. You're going to see way in the back over here, there's going to be this set of trees right here. And you will see right in the bush by this right here, hiding there in the ground, is the skull. So you can go ahead, walk over that, pick that up. That is going to be the Recession Skull. Now we're going to move on to the terminal. Okay, so on 343 Guilty Spark here, along the mission when you find the flood, after you have crossed that broken light bridge and you are coming up to this final elevator here, when you walk through the door over here, you can see this is the one that you can actually activate, but the one before that's broken. You'll come to a big area where there's a bunch of flood waiting for you in this area. Now, on top of this platform, as you can already see, it's flashing there. This is the final elevator before you go back to the surface. You can see the terminal right up on top there. So what you have to do is you have to get onto this platform, and when you're riding it up, you have to jump off and land on that platform there. Otherwise, you will not be able to get the terminal. So make sure that you come over here, jump off really quick, land on top of this, and you can see you can now grab the terminal. So go ahead and grab that. Now moving on to the next mission. So welcome to the library. We're going to get the first skull in the library here. So in the very beginning area, when you spawn just back by those vents over there. You're going to want to clear this area, kill a bunch of guys that come at you from every which way angle, and you'll see these two vents here right before the door where the index is. He's just on the other side there. What you want to do is you want to grenade jump onto the top of this pillar right here. So if you don't know how to grenade jump, hopefully you learn from this. So pretty much you throw the grenade on the ground. Right before it blows up, you jump and crouch, and the grenade will blast you to land on this pillar right here. So do that. There we go. Make it up top. And okay, so there are two vents here. The one that you're going to want to go into is the right vent here. So make sure you just jump into here. Turn your flashlight on so you can see. Jump up, and you can see the skull right there, the black eye skull. I didn't have much time to actually look at it because when you jump up, you pretty much land right on it. But that's the first skull in the library. Now we're going to move on to the terminal. So let's go ahead and advance through the mission and get to that part. Okay, so now you were on the third level of the library here. You have just finished waiting at this door to get through it. It brings you to this big open area, and you can already see way in the distance over there is the terminal. So all that you have to do is just make your way to this right side. Don't follow the path you're normally supposed to go. Don't follow the oracle. You want to follow this path on your right side. You can go to the left side if you want, but this side's faster. You want to crouch jump onto the top of all of these, and you got to get over all of these. So these sort of three legs here, the supporting beams for the rings here, you just want to crouch jump your way on top of all three of these. Make your way all the way around this third level, this third ring. Again, it's the third level, and you'll see the terminal right here. Go ahead, use that terminal, and we'll move on to the next skull. Okay, so now for the final skull on the library, this is the second skull. We are in the fourth level. As you can see, this is the end of the level right here. That's where the index is, right in the middle of that energy beam. And right across on that far side where I just threw a grenade, right over there where I'm shooting, is the door that you come through when you first get to the end of the level here. What you want to do is, instead of walking forward onto that bridge and going towards the index, I want you to either jump around those pillars that are holding it up, like you went to get the terminal in the third level, except you're on the fourth level and you're coming to this side. You can see the skulls there. Or you can run all the way around your right side, which is my left side. This whole thing right here is a path that comes all the way around. Right here you can see it connects the whole rest of the pathway. It's a lot longer to take this way, but I guess it's safer in case you might fall trying to jump over those beams. But anyways, once you come to the opposite side of the room from where you enter that final door, you can see it over there in the distance. You're going to come to this side. Between these two pillars right here is the final skull on this level. So go ahead, walk over, pick that up, and that is going to be your eye patch skull. Now let's move on to the next mission. So we are now on to Betrayals, and we are right at the very beginning of the mission here. As you can see, we are in the room where the Oracle turned on us and he sent the Sentinels off to destroy us, so you use the plasma pistol to kill them. Now the terminal is at the very beginning of the mission here. Just turn around. You can already see it flashing in the distance there. So just walk around this ring, come all the way to the back side, and you'll see right by this screen, this display, you can head on over and activate the terminal. Now moving on to the skull. Okay, so now on to Betrayals here, this is right at the end of the mission. So right here you have the indicator, that marker for going to destroy Pulse Generator 3. As you can see, they're located and destroy Pulse Generator 3. So instead of landing on that platform, you have this Banshee. What you want to do is you want to come back over to this tunnel here. So where you came out of before you got to this final run area, you're going to want to fly the Banshee. You want to take it to right on top of this. And just at the back of the pillar right here, as you can already see right there on the ground, just go ahead, land, jump out, is the skull. So go ahead, grab that. That is the Pinata Skull. Now moving on to the next mission. Okay, so now we are on the mission keys here. This is the 9th mission. There is only one terminal to find in this mission, and that is in the room where Captain Keys is. So before you go to talk to him, or you can do it after you talk to him, but before you do it, it's easier. You can see it's already right there flashing, but it's just underneath Keys. He's on that platform there, just underneath to the right side in this sort of little alcove kind of spot right here. There's dig out where there's this ramp here. So once you come through this door right here, this is where you came from, right down that hallway. Just come straight, drop down right here, and grab the terminal. On to the next one. Okay, so now we are on the final mission, level 10 of Halo Combat Evolved. Here we are on the Maw. So once you reach this cryo lab area, you're gonna have to climb a ladder on either side of here to come up to this part to continue in the mission. There'll be a bunch of Sentinels in this little part right here, this little bridgeway, this glass bridgeway, and you'll come into this room. As you can see, there's a bunch of guys shooting at me. I've already sat here, killed a bunch of them, so it wouldn't annoy me too much. But once you walk into this room, you'll see this thing with Master Chief, the armor suit right there, and to the right there's this flashing red thing that says incoming message. That is the terminal that you want to grab. Just go ahead, walk over to that, press RB, and now let's move on to the skull. Okay, so now on the Maw, we have that timer counting down. We're at the final part of the mission where you were coming to the first extraction zone, the extraction point that's set on your map here. You can see I have about 3 minutes left. Once you come here, you can see this is where Fohammer is supposed to come pick us up. But the only thing is, you can see the skull is right there. So what you have to do is just go drive past a little past this circle point, come to this right pillar on the right side before going through that door. Drive your Warthog as close as you can right here to this vent. You want to hop on top, and what you got to do is you got to do a jump and land on this right here, this vent. Walk right across. You can grab the final collectible, the final skull of Halo Combat Evolved, the Grunt Birthday Party Skull. So go ahead, shoot your celebratory shots, maybe kill this Banshee and shoot shots with a shotgun because you're a boss like that. And now go finish the driving sequence. So thank you guys for watching this guide. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'm going to be making more guides like this for you guys in the future. So just keep an eye out for those. And yeah, I hope you found this helpful. If you do, make sure you like, favorite, share, and subscribe. Please check out my friends' channels. Their links will always be in the description below. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in my next video. I guess I don't know if I want to keep doing this driving scene. Maybe I'll play it at the end here for you guys so you can see the sort of epic moment at the final mission, providing I don't mess it up, even though I just kind of messed up that turn right there. Don't forget about the shortcuts on the sides here when you're doing this drive. There's one on the original scene back there on the left side, and then there's one on the right side here on the second part of this driving sequence. So make sure you guys don't miss those. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to let you guys witness the end of this. If you don't want to watch the end of me doing this driving sequence, just click away. But if you want to see this epic jump at the end here, hopefully I don't flip and I get the achievement, because there is an achievement you can get for doing this whole thing without flipping once. So let's hope this is one of those times. Yeah, except I'm not going to make this jump now because I'm on the speed. Yeah, woo! That's the hardest part. Most people flip on that spot right there. Oh my gosh, no, are you joking me? Wow, that is actually my luck. Literally right at the end, straight up. This is the end right here. All I had to do was drive a little bit further, get to just past this hallway. There's nothing else even in the way here. You just drive to here and you stop, and that's it. All I had to do was finish that one jump. I could have just went slow. But instead I tried to show off. I pulled a McStunty McDoo over here. And this is all you do. You just walk to the end, and you come to this platform, and that's the end. That's it. Look. See? And I messed it up. Oh my gosh. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Okay, you've seen enough. I'll let this cutscene play. Talk to you later, guys. Keep it real. Peace.
Here we go.
Shut them down. We'll need them later. Fancy a look?
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.